I've been called upon to take care of business once again. Apparently, there's a game worse than Big Rigs, worse than Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, worse than Chrysobus or Desert Bus. It is known as Hong Kong 97. Been getting requests for it up the ass. The requests are so far up the ass, it's time to shit 'em out a bit. The game made for the Super Famicom in Japan, but never saw its way to the rest of the world. This is one title that we definitely didn't get on the Super Nintendo. It was made by Happysoft. Happysoft was most famous for making Hong Kong 97, their one and only masterpiece. On this one occasion, it rose from the depths of hell, excreted this unholy turn of the earth, and then descended back to where they came. Supposedly, the game so horrible, it barely even came out on the Super Famicom at all. Stores rejected it, and its release status is a mystery. It's so rare that to this day, not a single cartridge or physical copy has shown up at all. I can't even find a picture of one. So the only way I can experience the game is the same way as the rest of the internet. No way. Like that soundtrack. Getting it all, I've heard games with 5-second music loops before, not with lyrics. Options for 3 different languages. Considering how the game didn't travel very far, at least not until got a hold of it. Alright, I'm picking English. We'll sell you the original SIS games. 3 of the gross profit will be yours. Welcome games of any kind. So please send us your floppy. Send us your floppy. Would you like to sell our products at your store? We are looking for dealers worldwide. Enough already. How desperate could they be to sell this game? And I guess still nobody bought it because nobody can find a physical copy. And finally the title screen appears. Jackie Chan. Apparently, Jackie Chan is in the game. The game in it, constant hypes of, or was even aware of it. The image is stolen from the phone. The meals. The game, the released, made or, at least, copyrighted in 1995, but set in the future of 1997. The year 1997 has arrived. I heard this can't be real. No. Somebody's pulling my leg. I heard fucking Ugly Reds. Was I heard of Ugly Reds 2 week? Did they really need the Ford to fucking drive home the fucking point? This was before cursing in games was common. I remember how shocked I was when I first played Rambo and saw hell. But here, drop the ball, they did it. A game made for the Super Famicom. It's the closest you'd ever get to a Super Nintendo game that says fuck. And the music is still going. Our fucking Ugly Reds, period, are rushing from the mainland. Crimes rates skyrocketed. Hong Kong is ruined, therefore. However, Bruce Lee's relative, Bruce Lee's relative, just happens to be as sold as Bruce Lee, not a brother, a son, or even a cousin. Just some unspecified relative. Doesn't make any sense. Like, if we're related to, I don't know, Michael Jordan. Would that mean that you're medically good at basketball? So Bruce Lee's in the background of the guy at the podium is Chris Patton, former governor of Hong Kong. And over there is Jackie Chan. Which one is Shin? For the massacre of the Ritz. Shin is Killer Machine. It's Jackie Chan playing Bruce Lee's relative, Shin. Who name? Could it be any more common? Wipe out all 1.2 billion of the red communists. Stop. I can't take it more. I haven't even seen the game. I'll wipe out 1.2 billion. And if I'm not mistaken, 1995 would have been the entire population of China. Bruce Lee's relative is so powerful. He's the equivalent of 1,000 nukes. He's gonna murder the entire population of China by breaking their necks. Even when Bruce Lee would take down 20 people, it took him a little bit of time. But now comes Shin. Fuck with Shin. However, in mainland China there was a secret project in progress. A project to transform the deceased Deng Xiaoping into an event. It's killing me. So apparently, character of Deng Xiaoping, they use an actual image of a real Chinese leader, Deng Xiaoping, spelled differently, but pronounced it as when the game was made. This guy was still Could they have at least had the courtesy to wait for him to die before transforming him into an ultimate weapon? This is the most epic, absurd into any video game I've ever seen. Nothing compares. That'd be like if I made a game called New York 2017. Motherfucking diamonds from the planet Jupiter have arrived through the Manhattan portal. The late United States calls upon Master Jones have Kazan steps onto annihilate the 2.5 octodecillion alien scum of the universe. However, on Jupiter's secret moon, a master plan is conceived to resurrect the astronaut Bill Clinton into a mecha doomsday machine. Now that I just did that, let's play the game. One hit, and the game's over. What I expected, more. Now, leave. Let's hope it's not a real dead body. No. There's no way they have such bad taste. That's gotta be an actor. Or we're looking at some guy who died a date and time in 1992. And that the Nintendo endorsement. I'm so shocked that this didn't come out on Super Nintendo every time you die. It resets the whole game. And go through the whole introduction again. This is almost as tedious as Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Great game. Do you have to wait through a long, drawn-out game over screen just to get back to the title screen, select your file, and load the game all again? To fucking bullshit. This is a game that isn't even good. Not even close. And no, the song never stops. No sound effects of just that same, either just that loop. Even when the game restarts, it doesn't interrupt it. The song never needs a reboot. It's quite impressive. Actually, nothing can stop that loop. You'll be hearing that in your dreams. So let's talk about what's happening here. It's a two-shooter. Nothing more to say. Which is what you get. Shin's only method of attack is throwing projectiles. Because if you're related to Bruce Lee, then you can shoot white balls. This guy's so good. He does it all with his back turned. A ruby he hits. And just died. They burst into an atomic fucking explosion. And it's inside a square. Like they just slapped a picture of a mushroom cloud on there. Why is the background Coca-Cola? Did they run out of ideas? Like, should we put there? Anybody got any ideas? Anybody? Coca-Cola, right? You know, there was a movie called Hong Kong 97. 94. A year before this game. Coincidence? So I'm gonna consider this a movie-based game, just so it cannot say it has nothing to do with the movie. In less than 5 minutes, the final boss appears, Tong Shipin, played by Ding, who's been transformed into a so-called ultimate weapon. Kind of ultimate weapon is there, he's just a head after you kill him. He continues and loops endlessly, so there's no real to the game. Unless maybe hell 1.2 billion people without getting hit once, but who would ever try that? The strange thing that Ding Xiaoping actually died in 1997. The game predicted the future. 1997 was the year the United Kingdom returned the rule of Hong Kong back to China. The movie. 94. This in the tagline. 99 years of British rule are about to come to an end. Hong Kong will never be the same. The movie stars Robert Patrick. The 1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. It takes place in 1997. Part of Deng Xiaoping's year is sort of cut off, like when Mike Tyson bit off a piece of Evander Holyfield's year in 1997. The car, I'm willing to bet, is a Mercedes-Benz, in which Princess Diana died in 97. And what was the year Coca-Cola launched Surge? 97. And a coincidence, all my Surge protectors were made in China. Rebooting the entire game after, just like Symphony of the Night, 97. Jackie Chan. Rumble in the Bronx, New York City, the Big Apple. Steve Jobs returned to 97. The Unstoppable. A relenting song is called I Love Beijing Cinnamon, also known as I Love Peking Cinnamon. King Duck is a famous duck dish from Beijing. Scrooge McDuck at his 50th anniversary in 97. The game was such a titanic failure. Titanic. The movie from 97 was this game's sole purpose to direct us to the number 97. Like the 97 galaxy in the constellation of Andromeda. Princess Andromeda who was chained naked to a rock to be sacrificed to a monster, like Princess Leia did the Return of the Jedi. Vision of Star Wars in 97, fuck, we're back again. Man, I was just trying to get a final answer here. I went full circle like the song that keeps looping, a game that keeps repeating. Maybe it's all about a cycle, and it's a cycle. Old shitty games that become new games. Past becomes the future, birth and death, on and on. It's the cycle, a life, the game, the meaning is a meaning, life, the thing that keeps life going, reproduction, and food, which becomes shit. The game is fucking shit. Here.